It is 4 p.m. East African time. Welcome to Newsfeed right here at TV47, your number one home of untold stories. In the next 30 minutes, I'll be updating you what is happening in the country and beyond. My name is Stanley Nyerengeta. You can always talk to us on our social media platforms at TV47KE on Twitter and TV47KE. That is TV47 News KE on Twitter, TV47KE on Facebook. Talk to us on our socials and tell us where you're streaming in and your feedback. We'll be definitely looking at the national politics and what is happening in Raila's intrigues and all that, and even in matters sports. And we definitely start with matters the President, William Ruto, who was in Kitui County. President William Ruto has commissioned a police hospital at the Border Patrol Unit campus in Kanyonyo, that is in Kitui County. The police service used a welfare fund to collect for almost a year to start the hospital project with a contribution of 50 Kenyan shillings per each junior officer. The administration police started the construction. Now, President William Ruto has also called out the Azimio Brigade for saying that the 2022 general elections was buggled out with while they had the server.
Welcome, Your Excellency. That we will respect the independence of the police, the operational independence of the police, the financial independence of our units, for them to discharge their responsibilities without fear, without favor, without bias, so that every Kenyan can enjoy the services of our security men and women.
When these medical facilities are complete, they'll go in a long way in boosting the morale of our officers, making them feel appreciated, and being treated in an environment that does not disturb the rest of the public, because some of the injuries that our officers get are quite serious injuries, and we would want to cushion them from being able to destabilize the other medical facilities where every other person, a patient, is taken to.
We don't want to stay fixated in the past. We want to ask ourselves, now tunaenda mbele, what do we do differently? What we do differently to kienda mbele, even if you are disciplined forces and you are located in a place like this, please try as much as you can to work with the community, to be friendly with the community.
And from that, Azimio coalition leader Raila Odinga has welcomed a move by the Africa Union Commission to relieve him from his job as a High Representative for Infrastructure Development that he took over in 2018. Odinga, in a statement, says he had indicated his unavailability for the job 3 weeks ago due to the pressing and urgent matters. The decision on Raila's exit from the AU was communicated by African Union Commission Chairperson Musa Faki, saying it has come to a happy conclusion. Right now to some legal matters. The Law Society of Kenya, LSK, has continued to protest the alleged harassment of its member and criminal lawyer Danstan Omari, who represented former Interior Cabinet Secretary Fred Matiang'i. LSK President Eric Theuri has lamented that the Director of Criminal Investigations, DCI, and National Police Service had been out to weaponize and use their powers to interfere with advocate-client confidentiality. Lawyer Danstan Omari has, however, obtained a court order restraining the DCI from summoning him. Omari was asked by the DCI in a summon to appear on Monday, February 22nd, 2023, over his claims that police officers raided Matiang'i's home earlier this month. Omari has since dismissed the summons doing his job, however.
The summons were sent to us by our member, and we took the view that he has been summoned as an advocate of the High Court of Kenya representing his client. we took note of the fact that there are international principles and local principles that guide on the role of a lawyer when representing his client. And one of the cardinal principles of the international principles on the role of lawyers is that a lawyer should not face any sanctions or administrative action for representing his clients within the bounds of his professional duty. We have noticed a trend where the DCI and the police have continued to weaponize the use of their powers to try and pierce the advocate-client privilege. We are concerned at this trend because it points to a situation where the rule of law and the administration of justice will be compromised if advocates are unable to freely undertake their services and offer legal services to their clients.
Right, and now to matters health, and the fight against cholera has received a new boost. This is after the World Health Organization is set to set an office in Garissa County. Now, this particular office will be functional in not only Garissa but also in Wajir and Mandera.
There is an ongoing cholera outbreak in some counties in the country, including Garissa. WHO has been in the forefront to supporting the response to that outbreak. So WHO has been on the ground from the very first days of that outbreak, working under the leadership of the county officials, working in collaboration with the county technical officers and other partners on the ground to oppose a very strong response to that cholera outbreak.
As it has been rightly put, it's not just an isolated kind of intervening in the cholera outbreak, but it is part of all the other interventions that we are supposed to put in place. And as the county government and also the national government, as the DCC will put it later, is that the collaboration and commitment and having that multi-sectoral approach in ensuring that we control not only cholera but all other diseases that are there.
Now, donkey farmers from Kitui County have mostly women who mostly rely on donkeys for domestic chores like fetching water, are up in arms over the safety of the donkeys following the change of guard in the Ministry of Agriculture. Now, last year, the national government, through the Peter Munya-led Ministry of Agriculture, banned donkey slaughter, and they are waiting to see whether the new administration will lift the ban or not. Kitui County has been identified as the county with the largest number of donkeys at about 160,000 donkeys, with almost every household having at least a donkey.
Mimi hata nasemanga wangu si punda, ni Prombox. Kama kuna mjengo, huwa nachota changarawe, nauza. Kwa siku naweza hata kukiwa na kibarua, kukiwa na kazi, naweza hata kufanya 500 kwa siku. Na huyo punda ndio mimi na nilisha watoto naye, chakula, school fees. Kwa hivyo hatutaki ile silota ilikuwa inasemekana ati punda achinjwa, hatutaki.
Saa hizi watu wengi wamejua ya kwamba punda ni mnyama wa maana kwa mboma, maishani mwa mwanadamu. Anasaidia kubeba vyombo, mizigo na chakula kwa shamba, na anasaidia kwa mambo mengine.
Sasa mimi naomba serikali tupungulie hiyo biashara ya punda ili tuanze kununulia watu punda. Na kuna punda wengine katika miguu, wengine wameumia, wengine wazee. Sasa hao kutoka siku ile tulifungiwa hiyo factory, hao punda wanakufa bure, hakuna mahali naenda.
Meanwhile, acute water shortage has hit parts of Rongai sub-county, and residents are crying foul, with some areas such as Kampiamoto and Masinjerik going without a drop of water for over a month. Chichi Josephine reports.
The residents are worried that their dependence on uncertified water sources could expose them to diseases. Most residents here buy water from unknown sources, an issue that might result in contraction of waterborne diseases. Menengai West member of County Assembly Isaac Kiptis says most of the rivers in Rongai have gone dry, with more than 3,000 residents of Soin and Mosop wards grappling with acute water shortages.
Hapa Menengai West tumekuwa na changamoto haswa kwa Rongai sub county kwa mambo ya maji. Tumekuwa na shida ya maji, na changamoto ambayo tunapata pia kwa shida ya maji ni kwamba mito zetu zimekauka, na hii imechangiwa haswa na wale ambao wanafanya mambo ya irrigation kwa sehemu za juu.
The situation has been worsened by large-scale farmers upstream who have diverted waters from the two rivers. They want the government to revoke licenses allowing large farms and factories to harvest water from the rivers in the county.
Kile tunawaomba wale wakulima ambao wako upande wa juu waweze kutuachia mito ziweze kuwa na maji, kwa sababu mifugo zinakosa maji, na pia hata wananchi upande wa chini wanakosa maji ya kutumia.
Na tunaomba kwamba wakaaji wa Waseges ambao wanatumia mto Subukia na wale ambao wanatumia mto ya Kasururei waweze kuachilia maji iweze kufikia upande ya chini, so that wale ambao wako chini waweze kupata maji, na hata wapita njia ama mifugo waweze kupata maji.
Other affected areas include Salga, Solai, Waseges, Kabarnet, Fom, Rongai Town, Angata and Joro.
Challenge kubwa sana ni maji, sababu mito ambaye tunategemea sana ilikuwa Rongai, and Rongai is gone, it's not flowing again. Pia Molo River is on its dying bed, inaonekana maji inaisha hivi karibuni.
Tunatafuta solution. Governor wetu Susan Kihika hako na agenda ya kuhakikisha kwamba, kwa sababu tunajua Rongai constituency ni kuna drought kila mwaka, tutahakikisha kwamba tutachimba borehole sisi ili kusaidia watu wetu katika mambo ya maji.
Chichi Josephine, TV47.
Thank you for that, Chichi Josephine. Now from Nakuru to Mombasa, Investments, Trade and Industry CS Moses Kuria has assured compensation to the 1,648 residents affected by the construction of the multi-billion Dongo Kundu Special Economic Zone. Speaking during a baraza with the locals in Likoni, he has asked them to cool down the temperatures over the compensation issue and to ensure calmness ahead of President William Ruto's visit to the area. However, residents complained that the 65,000 Kenyan shillings per acre disturbance allowance was not enough, asking it to be raised. Kuria has instructed the Special Economic Zone Authority to ensure every elder together with their children are listed for compensation.
Lakini mimi sitaki kuangalia kwanza changamoto. Kwanza nataka kuangalia ni washukuru kwa sababu ya ushirikiano. Tumeona mradi kama hii imeenda kwingine, imekuwa ni fujo. Imekuwa ni watu kujibizana. Nyinyi watu wa Dongo Kundu, naona nikiangalia nyuso zenu, mumeona ya kwamba hii mradi si watu wa kwingine inawasaidia. Watu wa maji ya Karai kama kwetu, ni nyinyi wenyewe hapa, watu wa Likoni na watu wa hii eneo yote ya Dongo Kundu, nyinyi ndio mtafaidi. Shughuli mimi nataka ifanywe ikamilike. Lakini mimi nasema mradi tu mzee alikuwa ameandikishwa. Kama mtoto inadhibitishwa ni wa huyo mzee, atahesabiwa kama watoto wa wale wengine.
Kila mtu mwenye shamba watu 1,648, kila mtu anapewa plot hapa. Lakini kuna kitu inaitwa disturbance allowance. Kwa kila eka KPI nalipa mtu 65,000 disturbance allowance over and above the plot.
And to matters security, Samburu West MP Naisula Lesuda has decried the increase in cases of human rights violation in the ongoing KDF operation to flush out bandits in the banditry-riddled counties. According to Lesuda, women and children are the ones bearing the greatest brunt of the wrath of the KDF, with cases of rape being reported in some parts.
And I just wanted again to update the media on the situation on the ground. Since the joint military and the police operation was declared in the North Rift, and I want to specifically talk about Samburu West constituency, which I represent. And I know it was just the other day again, I spoke to the media, but the frustrations of the people cannot let me to keep quiet, because the messages I woke up to today are of despair, of helplessness, of hopelessness from the residents of Samburu West constituency. I just want to give some facts of what has been happening just for this month of February. On the 11th of February, at a place called Nolkera, we lost 300 livestock and we had 1 death. On 20th of February, at a place called Ilkeik Sapuki, 13 goats were stolen. On 18th of February, at a place called Ndikir, we had 20 goats of a family that were stolen. Then yesterday, we had 3 separate incidences in a place called Tinga, where we had livestock stolen, and they even have the audacity to get into people's homes, steal basic small things like blankets and everything, and these are people who are armed. This afternoon, they went to a mzee called Mzee Letoya. They stole livestock, but luckily this time the NPR and the rangers were able to recover the livestock. But unfortunately, they raped a woman. And the unfortunate thing is that this has now become a song. And it is very, very unfortunate. And it is clear, it's a clear picture that it is no longer even about the livestock and everything, because they've also come up so much to Samburu West constituency. They're actually the ones now grazing on our land, and the people are running away. I would also encourage the media to please talk to your bosses and the media houses so that you go to the ground and you see what we are actually talking about. Because if you go to my constituency, it's not even far from here. It's also not, the areas that I've mentioned to you, they are accessible. Loibornkare is a few kilometers from Maralal town, our headquarters as a county. So you can imagine if bandits can come all the way, it's actually less than 20 kilometers from the county headquarters. So if the bandits can come all the way to terrorize the people of Samburu West, and these are areas which can be accessible. Yesterday is the first day the military got there. There was shootout between the two, between the criminals.
And the strategically placed Mombasa County has attracted 16 billion Kenyan shillings multinational investment at the Dongo Kundu Economic Zone by the Taifa Gas Company in an LPG import, storage and distribution plant. The investment will create at least 90,000 jobs through its supply chain in 10 other depot facilities the company will be establishing across Kenya's main towns. Taifa Gas also intends to realize the Kenya's Sustainable Energy for All Action agenda by making the clean energy more affordable through negotiations, as it will be importing large quantities of the LPG. At the same time, the investors have stressed that the project has involved discussions with the local community to allow them to use the land. President William Ruto is, however, expected to grace a groundbreaking ceremony tomorrow at Dongo Kundu in Mombasa County.
Kenya is geographically well placed to do investment, and of course there is also a very conducive environment for people to do environment, and I think that's why Taifa is here. What are the benefits of this project to Kenyans? With this investment, of course, we are planning to bring in a lot of revenue, a lot of foreign currency through the export business. But also we are planning to create jobs for the local community, I mean Mombasa in particular. So we see that with our capacity, once it is completed, we are able to create around 90,000 jobs. That means we are able now to order big vessels. If we order big vessels, you are able to negotiate better in terms of premiums. You are able to negotiate better in terms of your transport because you are bringing something in large quantities. So what we are hoping now for the local Mwananchi, what we want our gas is really to be used to the local Mwananchi, as you're saying, affordably, because a lot of people now, they are not using gas because it is expensive.
We've had enough stakeholder engagement where the locals have also been involved in a big way. We've had the National Land Commission doing their job. We've had the local leaders doing their job. We've been involved as a company. We are quite sure and confident that all other stages have been followed, and really there is no complaint about our existence or our coming to the ground.
And a number of international and health committees in the 47 counties in Kenya currently holding a consultative meeting aimed at improving healthcare in counties through legislation. According to Dr. Shedra Kopon from AMREF, the engagements are expected to continue long-term in order to address challenges facing the health sector in various counties, depending on each county's specific challenge. Philomen Sabulei, Elgeyo Marakwet County Speaker, who also doubles up as the chair of the County Assemblies Forum, notes that all counties are still grappling with financial challenges that affect the procurement of medical equipment and acquiring enough medical personnel.
For legislative agenda at the county level now, so that when that is adopted, the counties can be able to provide a friendly legislative framework for health partners to come in and actually help in strengthening health systems. When this is done, of course, there is a lot of that is already going on at national level. So this can always be adopted or scaled up to the national level.
I cannot say that we have achieved a level that is, we could say, is desirable. But looking back from 2013, when we began this journey of the 4 functions of the health, all the way to the second generation of devolution in 2017 to this third generation, I can say that with the support of the national governments, the counties are growing in terms of capacities, albeit to say that this progress may not be desirable much more because of the capacities, the technical knowledge of the officers, the adequacy of the health personnel in the county.
Right, and from matters health to matters education, Mombasa County has launched a school feeding program for the early childhood development school category, which will be free for both public and private schools. The feeding program will provide free lunch to their school-going children, in line with aspirations that not a single child will lack education because of hunger. Speaking during the event, the county boss Abdul Somad Sharif Nasir says the program will go a long way to address nutritional deficits, attract children to school and improve learning. He has, however, warned teachers against charging parents for the feeding program, reiterating that his administration will fully fund the program.
Sitaki kusikia mzazi amelipa wacha shilingi. Mimi nitateta na watu nikisikia kwa mzazi alilipa ndururu. Wacha shilingi. Hii itafadhiliwa 100% na serikali yenu ya county pamoja na Food for Education. Tumeungana na tukahakikisha na